All right, Gina, thank you very much. Well, there's a lot of things going on with the state of Arizona and across the country right now, and Senator John McCain is here with Tara to talk about some of those items. Tara?
Yeah, and I want to mention that the senator will be in Clifton at about 10:15 this morning out at the Green Lake County Courthouse. He'll also be in Parker later today at about 1:15, then heading to Lake Havasu. But the senator was kind enough to stop by our studios this morning. Good morning.
It's always good to be back on Channel 3.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, and I want to get to your visit to the border in just a minute. But let's start yesterday. The big story, or one of the big stories, was the death of a high-ranking Al-Qaeda leader, I guess the number 3 in charge. The White House says this is a huge blow to the terrorist network. What do you think?
Well, it is a huge blow, but one of the things we find out is that these organizations are remarkably resilient. We've killed off leaders, and we should, don't get me wrong, but others seem to emerge rather rapidly, and so we've just got to keep it up, but it's certainly a good thing to have happened. Could I just mention yesterday's issue of the boarding of those ships by the Israeli, and Israelis and people were killed? First of all, the Israelis offered to let those ships come into port and the cargo be examined, and if it was truly humanitarian, they would have let them move on. Second of all, this organization is tied to other terrorist organizations. Third of all, if they're allowed to move whatever they want to into Gaza, Hamas, the people that run Gaza, have been attacking Israel, and they're dedicated to the extinction of the state of Israel. So maybe this could have been handled better, but the fact is that if we were in a similar situation, say on one of our borders where a terrorist organization might be getting the ability to attack the United States, I think we would try to prevent that from happening as well.
So our response to that, because I know a lot of different countries are saying we need to come out strong against Israel, our response should be what?
That these organizations are tied to terrorist organizations. I happen to believe that some of the European countries that are condemning Israel have a certain bias, some of it driven by their economic ties to Middle Eastern countries. And look, we have not treated Israel well since this administration came in, and we cannot abandon our best ally in the world, or certainly in the Middle East.
Let's talk quickly about the governor visiting with the president supposedly tomorrow. What do you hope comes out of that meeting? Well,
I hope that I know that the governor will try to urge him to look at the law that was passed, the fact that the federal law is more stringent, is that these boycotts are not only unnecessary, but the American people overwhelmingly are against the boycotts. And by the way, I cannot imagine why people who live in Arizona would support a boycott which would harm the people of Arizona, including 30% of our population, which is Hispanic. And I hope that I know she will urge him to get more assets to the border. 1,200 is not enough. We need 3,000 in Arizona. We need better surveillance. We need to complete the fence. I was just down there yesterday. We need to complete the fence, and we need more Border Patrol down there. In the meantime, we need 3,000 National Guard down there, and their surveillance capabilities are being restricted by a bunch of red tape and other bureaucratic problems. The UAVs, the Predators, do very good work.
And I know, again, I want to mention that that's one of the big issues you'll be discussing a little bit later today, this morning out in Clifton at the Green Lake County Courthouse, and again in Parker. Over the weekend, I had a chance to watch Game 6, as I know everybody else did. Did they warn you when they're going to take a picture of you and your wife?
No.
Because you guys didn't look happy, and I know the Suns were probably down at that point, but they don't give you any warning, do they?
No, and I don't blame them for that. But people said, well, you looked unhappy. Well, I was unhappy because we were losing. Did you expect me to smile? Oh, great, we're down by 18.
And I know you're a big
And that foul they
fan.
called on Amari was a turning point when we were 3 points down and surging there. But look, it is what it is. I can assure those viewers the next time the Suns are beating the Lakers, they'll look at me and I'll be very, very happy
with a big smile on your face.
Exactly.
Senator McCain, thanks for joining us again. The town hall meetings will be on our hotline as well, azfamily.com. And I hate to report that we did lose yesterday, the Diamondbacks. We'll get to that story coming up in sports when we come back.